students, welcome to Vidya Myriad. This video is made for class 8 on chapter number 13, direct and inverse proportions, and today we are going to begin with exercise 13.1 from Ncert. Let's begin with the exercise. Question number 1. Following are the car parking charges near a railway station up to: for 4 hours rupees 60, for 8 hours rupees 100, for 12 hours rupees 140, for 24 hours rupees 180. Check if the parking charges are in direct proportions to the parking time. Now how we are going to do this? We will reduce them to its lowest term and see whether all the ratios are coming same or not. If they are same, it means they are in direct proportions. If not, then they are not in direct proportions. Now when the car was parked for 4 hours, the charges were 60. So 4 upon 60, when I reduced it, it came to 1 upon 50. When car was parked for 8 hours, the charges were rupees 100. So 8 upon 100, reduce it, it comes to 2 upon 25. When it was for 12 hours, charges were 140. So it came to 3 upon 35. And when it was for 24 hours, the charges were rupees 180, that is 2 upon 15. Now if you look at all the yellow boxes, they are not same, they are not equal, which means that the given quantities, they are not directly proportional. If they would been all same, then they are directly proportional. Question number 2. A mixture of paint is prepared by mixing 1 part of red pigments with 8 parts of base. In the following table, find the parts of the base that need to be added. Now we are already told that for 1 part of red pigments, we are going to mix 8 parts of the base. Now they are telling us when we have the parts 4 of red pigments, then how many base we have to add? When 7, then we have to find down the base, when 12 and when 20. So what we are going to do is, thinking that this is a direct proportion case, when it means that when the pigment parts will increase, the base part will also comparatively increase. So what we are going to do is, we will find out all these with the help of cross multiplication by writing it into a fraction form. That is, 1 upon 8 is equal to 4 upon a. Let all the dashes be a, b, c, d. So 4 upon a, when we cross multiply, your a comes out to be 32. Which means that when the red pigments were 4 parts, then we required base parts will be 32. Same way, 1 upon 8 is equal to 7 upon b. Cross multiply, b comes out to be 56. 1 upon 8 is equal to 12 upon c. So c comes out to be 96. And lastly, 1 upon 8 is equal to 20 upon d, and d comes out to be 160. So all the required value of bases can be written in the blank parts of the bases, and we will see that they all are in direct proportion, which means if I reduce them to its lowest term, all will come as 1 upon 8. Question number 3. In question 2 above, if 1 part of red pigment requires 75 ml of base, how much red pigment should be mixed with 1800 ml of base? Now here what happen is, we will divide it into red pigment and base. There are 2 parameters on the basis of which we are going to do this question. So when 1 red pigment is there, so base required is 75 ml. And how much red pigment will be required if base is 1800 ml? So we will just write it into a tabular form and we will do cross multiply. So it becomes 1800 is equal to 75 into x, because x we have assumed the red pigment which we need to find out, or which we need to mix with 1800 ml of base, which comes out to be 24. So the required amount of red pigment will be 24 parts. Question number 4. A machine in a soft drink factory fills 840 bottles in 6 hours. How many bottles will it fill in 5 hours? So what are the 2 criteria? Bottles and time or hours. So when 840 bottles are there, time required is 6 hours. We need to find out number of bottles. So let us assume it as x. time is given as 5. So since it is a direct proportion case, which means that when more bottles, more time will be taken, less bottles, less time will be taken. So according to this table, if we see, we need to find out number of bottles when time is reduced from 6 to 5. So number of bottles will be also reduced. So what we are going to do is just cross multiply, and after seeing that you will see x comes out to be 700. So number of bottles required will be 700. Question number 5. A photograph of a bacteria enlarged 50,000 times attains a length of 5 centimeters as shown in a diagram. What is the actual length of the bacteria if the photograph is enlarged 20,000 times only? What would be its enlarged length? Now here two cases, one is enlargement and other one is the length. When it was 50,000, then the length was 5 centimeters. Now when it is 20,000 times, then what is the length? We need to find out. Let us assume it as x. So more the enlargement, more the length. Less enlargement, less length. So here enlargement is reduced from 50 to 20. Definitely length will be also reduced. So what we are going to do is just cross multiply the fraction. You will get x is equal to 2 centimeters. Question number 6. In a model of a ship, the mast is 9 centimeters high, while the mast of the actual ship is 12 meters high. If the length of the ship is 28 meters, how long is the model ship? Now two criteria, height of the mast is given and length of the ship is given to us. When height is given as 9 centimeters, length is given as 12 meters. We need to find out the height of the mast. So let us assume it as x, and length is given to us as 28. So what criteria what we are going to do is here is you need to identify two parameters or two criteria based on which we are going to solve the questions. So first decide that and write down one another one so that it becomes easier to do. Just make it in a fraction form and cross multiply, because if the height here is 9 centimeters, length is 12. Now length is getting increased, which means the height will also increase, which means it is in direct proportion. More height, more length, less height, less length. So let's cross multiply. Your x comes out to be 21. So height of the mast comes out to be 21 centimeters, which is much more than 9 centimeters. That means we can say that when one increases, the other parameter will also increase. If one decreases, the other parameter will also decrease. That is the criteria which we are going to follow in the direct proportional case. Question number 7. Suppose 2 kg of sugar contains 9 into 10 raised to power 6 crystals. How many sugar crystals are there in 5 kg of sugar? So two criteria, number of sugar crystals and weight of sugar. So number of sugar crystal is 9 into 10 raised to power 6 and the weight of the sugar given to us is 2 kg. For the first case, we are given for 5 kg sugar, we need to find out number of sugar crystals. Let it be x. So just write down in a fraction form and cross multiply. You will get your x as 22.5 into 10 raised to power 7. You can very well see these sugar crystals are much more. Now it has increased. Weight of the sugar has increased from 2 to 5. So sugar crystal has increased from 9 to 22.5. So with that also you can get an idea whether your answer is coming right or wrong, because here the weight is increasing. So that means sugar crystals will also increase. In the second case, we are given the weight of the sugar 1.2 kg. That means it is getting reduced from 2 to 1.2. So that means number of sugar crystal will also get decreased. So just cross multiply. After cancelling and getting it to the lowest term, you will get your y as 5.4 into 10 raised to power 6, which is less than 9 into 10 raised to power 6. Question number 8. Rashmi had a road map with a scale of 1 centimeter representing 18 kilometers. She drives on a road of 72 kilometers. What would be her distance covered in the map? So it is very clear, for 1 centimeter scale distance is covered is 18 kilometers. So naturally, if distance is increased to 72, the scale will also increase. That only we have to find for how many centimeters it will be. So just cross multiply. 1 upon x is equal to 18 upon 72. Always write down in a tabular form, so your question will never get wrong. Write it in tabular and then just cross multiply after identifying that this is a direct proportional case. So x comes out to be 4 centimeters. So when distance covered is 72 kilometers, then the road mapped with a scale will be 4 centimeters. Question number 9. A 5 meter 60 centimeter high vertical pole cast a shadow 3 meters 20 centimeters long. Find at the same time the length of the shadow cast by another pole 10 meter 50 centimeters high. So two things over here we need to focus: height of the pole and length of the shadow. Height is given as 5 meters 60 centimeters, which can also be written as 5.60, and the shadow with that is 3 meters 30 centimeters, which is 3.20. Now when height will be increased to 10.50, then what is the length of the shadow? Let it be x. Cross multiply, you will see your x comes out to be 6 meters. So with this we can identify that when the height has increased from 5 to 10, your length of the shadow has increased from 3 to 6 approximately. Now we have to also find out the height of the pole which casts a shadow of 5 meters long. Now what is given? Height and length. We need to find out the height of the pole when the length of the shadow is 5 meters. So again we will cross multiply and try to reduce it to its lowest term. So y comes out to be 8.75. Question number 10. A loaded truck travels 14 kilometers in 25 minutes. If the speed remains the same, how far it can travel in 5 hours? Now here you have distance and time. Distance is given in kilometer, that is 14 kilometer. Time is given in 25 minutes. In the next case, we have to find out the distance or the x kilometers in 5 hours. Now one is given in minutes and one is given in hours. We will try to convert it into same units. So if we want to convert hours into minutes, multiply it with 60, it will come as 300 minutes. Your units should remain same, only then you can follow the rule. So now I have 14 kilometer is to 25 minutes. So x kilometer is to 300 minutes. So write down in fraction and cross multiply. Your distance covered will be 168 kilometers. That's all for this exercise, children. It is very easy. Just identify that whether it is in direct proportion or not. So if one parameter increases, the other will also increase. If one will decrease, the other will also decrease. It will go in the same proportion. So that this is all for this exercise. Very soon I am going to come with the next video where we are going to discuss with the inverse proportions. Thank you so much, children, for watching the video till the end. Very soon I am going to come with the next. See you soon in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Take care.